I've read so many articles about the way to a man's heart being through his tummy that I decided to take a few cooking lessons. A couple weeks ago, I asked my boyfriend home for dinner. I fixed a nice steak, and I made some biscuits, baked a cake, and a pie. But he didn't seem very impressed with it all, and it sort of hurt my feelings until after dinner, he liked to nibble on my cupcakes. He just went nuts about their taste. They seemed to melt right in his mouth. I've never had complainers. They're smooth as silk and filled with milk containers. Oh, you should see my lovely cupcakes. They are much too nice to go to waste. I asked him if he'd like a bite, and now he bites them every night. He likes to nibble on my cupcakes. He likes to nibble on my cupcakes. Just like his mother's, they're just right and left. They're not too big, they're not too small, they fit right in his grip. They're not too hard, not too soft. And there's a raisin on each tip. Ooh, you should see my lovely cupcakes. They made him raise a hearty appetite. They're juicier than any steak, and he found out that they weren't fake. He likes to nibble on my cupcakes. Man, this guy is always eating.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I went to the drive-in movie the other night. I saw the 10 Commandments. What a show. What action. The couple in the car next to me broke 6 of them. But he minded, very unusual. The first time we ever saw Moses leading the Israelites in a 1941 Mercury. People worry too much. I know a guy right here in town saved 15 years to buy his mother a house. Now the police won't let her run. Little midget Indian, they threw him off the reservation. He was in it. People worry too much. Just the other day, this lady walked into the furniture store. The clerk come over and says, "Can I help you?" She says, "Yes, I'd like to buy a sexual couch." I beg your pardon? "I'd like to buy a sexual couch." "Well, I don't want to seem rude, but I think you made a mistake." "You mean sectional?" She says, "Sectional, smectional, I don't care, as long as I get an occasional piece in the living room." That lady walked into the butcher shop. The butcher looks up and says, "Hello, Mrs. Cohen, how are you?" She says, "I'm fine. What can I do for you?" She says, "I'd like a chicken." "You're lucky. I got one left. I'll wrap it up. I want to look at it." "You never saw a chicken?" "I'm buying it. I want to look at it." He says, "Go ahead. What's to look?" So she picks up the chicken. She lifts up the wing and she sniffs it. And she turns around, lifts up the other wing and sniffs it. And then she turns around and sniffs the part that goes over the fence last. She drops it on the counter. She looks at the butcher. She says, "It smells." The butcher looks at her. He said, "Mrs. Cohen, perhaps you could pass this test?" After all, people worry. There's only 3 things in life worthwhile: a cocktail before and a nap afterwards. But I like all sports. I was out at the golf course the other day. Ever see these guys who got all the money with the big bellies, huh? Getting all ready to play? Just as they look up, running right across the fairway is a naked woman. Well, they don't say nothing. They figure it's probably one of the members' wives. Perhaps an old pro. Right behind her are 2 guys in white coats. One's carrying 2 buckets full of sand. This item has the better of their curiosity, so they turn to the caddy. "Look, we don't mind, but what the hell's going on?" "It is not our fault, sir. There's an insane asylum across the highway. Every afternoon, that woman escapes, runs through the golf course in the nude. The gentlemen in the white coats are attendants. They have to catch her, take her back." He said, "Well, we figured that out. We want to know is what the hell's the one guy got 2 buckets full of sand?" He says, "Well, he caught her yesterday. That's his handicap for today."
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I'm a New Yorker, as many of you are, and I get a kick out of California. Gee! You mean there isn't one native Californian amongst us here? This is a kick. All right, California. It's wonderful out here. You're a Californian? You were born here? Really? I wasn't born here. Like I said, I've died out here many times, but I'm hoping for tonight. No, actually, though, I get a kick out of California because it's so maligned. For example, being the pseudo-intellectuals as you are, and I'm sure you're well aware of the fact that there's a lot of people out here that are misunderstood because they dress odd, and especially the women. You know, they wear very radical clothes in California. And I get a charge out of it because, you know, the women, they sort of dress very mannishly with the mannish haircuts and all, and it's getting so you can't actually tell the men and the women apart anymore. They look so much alike. In fact, the only way you can be positive is to get them together and tell them a dirty joke. If it blushes, it's a boy. And, like, for example, I was on the streetcar, and there was a very attractive little blonde girl, about 18, you know, and she's wearing slacks and mannish attire. I said to this fellow next to me, I said, isn't it a dirty shame the way these young snots dress? He says, I beg your pardon. That happens to be my daughter. I said, I beg your pardon, sir. I didn't know you were her father. He says, I'm not. I'm her mother. Yeah. He says, I bumped into a friend of mine on a corner. He looked so unhappy. I says, what's your problem? He says, my wife's got into a nasty habit of smoking. Morning, noon, and night. It's one cigarette after another. One cigarette after another. A real chain smoker. I'm not complaining about the smoking because I smoke too. But it's got to the stage now that whenever I want to kiss her, she's got a cigarette in her mouth. And my cigarette in her mouth. And my problem is how to kiss her without start. 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 Problem is how to kiss her without starting a fight or getting burned in the process. So I told him, I said, you ain't got no problem. Just kiss her between the drawers. And, which leads into the line, I never knew a girl smoked cigarettes till she pinched my butt. Pinched my butt.
My daddy makes book on the corner. My mama makes bathtub gin. My sister makes love for $1. My God, how the money rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in. My uncle's a poor missionary. He saves fallen girls from sin. He'll save you a blonde for $5. My God, how the money rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in. Now my grandma sells used prophylactics. She punctures the head with a pin. 'Cause Grandpa gets rich from abortions. My God, how the money rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in. Now my brother is whittling out candles from wax that's exceptionally soft. He says they'll come in real handy if ever his business falls off. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in, rolls in. Rolls in, rolls in. My God, how the money rolls in.
Ah, this side of it shouldn't have done. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something just to break the monotony a little bit. I have a whole bunch of dirty songs. Dirty songs that I'd like to play for you. And these were recently recorded on 12 2-inch discs and sold like hotcakes. I forgot to put the hole in the center. And while the band takes a hiatus for a second, I'd like to do this for you. A little thing called, I don't know what's got into me since I got into you. Why do gypsies big and little always play their stinking fiddles? They should try to please the masses, shove the fiddles. I don't know if you want to hear that one. It's kind of a little... Let's do something like, once I had a secret love. She wore a nylon negligee. I was so happy with my secret love when she said I didn't have to pay. Last night we were on Channel 4, and my secret love's no secret anymore. Mule train, ho! Got a jar of Vaseline for a queer and I can't do that one, huh? Boss says I can't do it. It's a hell of a tune, no. I'm vexed again, perplexed again. I wish I could be oversexed again. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I. That's why I'm as nervous as a pansy in the men's room. Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed. We danced and we danced 'cause her folks had the bed. Ooh, I I don't care if the girls don't want to go out with me. My dreams are getting better all the time. On top of some oaky, I had the time of my life. But it's perfectly legal, 'cause Smokey's my wife. And if you'll bend over and touch your toes, I'll show you where the wild goose goes. Don't you love those romantic tunes? Oh, standing in the pool room, watching all the balls go by. Does that reach you, huh? Isn't that a tender thing? How about, let me go, let me go, let me go, I'm your mother. I kiss your lips and all at once I am on fire. Take the cigar out of your mouth before you kiss me, Meyer. Whatever Lola wants, Abby rents. Alone from night to night you'll find me, too weak to pull a chain. I wake each morning with a heartache. You like those romantic tunes like, she went upstairs undressed and all at once she had no chest. It's magic. All the fellows stay away from my girlfriend Louise, since she contracted that social... Yeah, do that one here. Oh, let me see. When she says, what the hell, let's go find a motel at some more. When it's 3:45 and she's screaming, some more, that's some more. When her husband comes in, then you know you're not dreaming, signore. 'Cause you're found dead in your bed with a hole in your head, that's amore.
I love you, darling, I told him, as I removed my dress. You're everything I'd ever want, I really must confess. You're so good to me, dear love, so tender and so sweet. And as I spoke, my dainty slip came tumbling round my feet. I whispered, only rest assured that you will never lose. I slid my hose from off my legs and placed them in my shoes. My darling, I'm so much in love, I cannot give you more. I slid my bra straps from my arms and dropped it to the floor. A burning love like ours, you never will need doubt. I dropped my panties from my waist, and from them I stepped out. Remember, I belong to you. Remember, I belong to you. I'm yours and yours alone. Good night, I whispered softly, and then hung up the phone.